Hello beer tubers and welcome to another beer review with me, Peter, the master of hoppets. Today checking out some more Nerdbrewing beers, specifically 2 beers from their barrel series. And I've pretty much got the entire barrel series actually in the cellar, at least what they've released so far, courtesy of Johan in Sweden, the ever so awesome Johan in Gothenburg. Thanks a ton, dude. Johan has been supporting the channel for quite a few years now, supplying me with some very, very awesome Swedish beers and introducing me to a lot of awesome Swedish brewers. So thanks for that, Johan. Yeah, we're going to go through a lot of the stuff you sent that I was sitting in the cellar because I was like, yeah, it can age. And there is a lot. So we're going through these. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these. I love Nerdbrewing. I think Nerdbrewing is probably one of the best Swedish breweries. And for stouts, it's probably the best if we don't count Omnipollo. I think those are the 2 best stout breweries in my mind, especially with some of the new releases from Omnipollo. They've been crazy. But what I love about Hannah's approach and at Nerdbrewing is like it's always beer first. So stout first, adjunct second. It's been like that for a long time. So we got 2 beers in the series, and this is the 04 and 05 of the barrel series. Both are Imperial Oatmeal Stouts, aged in Heaven Hill bourbon barrels. One is with coconut, one is without. But the one without is a whopping 17.4%. The one with is 13.2%. So they have the same ingredients. It's just a crazy, massive spike in ABV. And since the ABV is so precise, I wonder if they actually do a lab test to see how strong these beers are. I'm not sure. It's got similar IBUs, not the exact same, but actually they're around 60-70 IBUs. It's pretty interesting, and very, very high original gravities. But yeah, I'm looking forward to these. Let's check them out. What should we start with, though? I'm wondering if I should start with the non-coconut version or the coconut version, just because the non-coconut version is so strong. I don't know. Let's do it without the coconut. Let's do number 4 first. Do it by the numbers. So this one pours a pitch black color in the glass. Definitely some alcohol legs on the side there. Very roasty looking head. Caramelly. Not a lot of it pouring out, but that's probably because of the very high ABV. But let's take this one out. I really dug the beers in the series so far. Ooh, that's massive. You can smell a warming sensation in your nostrils. Or sense it. Lots and lots of like warming bourbon. Like it's definitely the bourbon that shines. And then leather and dark fruits and dates and figs. And roasty malt. There's hints of vanilla too. It smells like crazy intense. It almost reminds me of something like Black Tuesday. Like that level of like intense boozy spirit. Yeah, it's massive smelling. Hints of molasses, licoricey vibes, dark fruits. It's not like one of these more fudgy, like crazy modern beers. It smells more somewhat like, yeah, I think Black Tuesday is one of the better beers to compare this to on the aroma because it smells so extreme. Well, that's right. Cheers. And thanks a ton to Johan for the beers. Not what I expected. Not what I expected from the aroma. It's much sweeter than I expected. What's also really interesting, or what's fun, is like the final gravities and whatnot. You know, I can't understand them 100% because it's the SG scale. If it was Plato, it would be like that, but I don't know the exact translations. I think 1067, is that around 17 Plato? 16? I think so. 1051 is around maybe 14, 15. So it's high finishing gravities on these beers, but that's also why there's a lot of sweetness, which is nice. It really helps cut what seems like heavily boozy on the nose. It's, what can I compare it to? It's actually got a very heavy dark fruit profile. So initially I said like Black Tuesday. It's no way near as boozy as that beer. It's much more caramelly and fudgy. Not too heavy on roasted malt. There's definitely some there. And a nice high bitterness, but it's not too much bitterness because it's also quite sweet. Lots of vanilla, nice bourbon flavor profile. It's not like screaming bourbon in your face, but it's definitely there. I think there's even more on the aroma. Aroma also really has a lot of dry, like charry, woody oak. Yeah, I maybe a little bit of Black Tuesday. It's just like a bit more sweet and more slightly more modern. It's like really caramel heavy approach. Also, like a little bit of a chocolate malt. Like there's loads of layered like Maillard type caramel on this one, which is quite nice. But it's a huge beer. It's warming. It's intense. It's really big, but it's nice. It's a very nice big barrel aged imperial stout. You can really feel like the warmth going down without it being boozy, which is really nice. But let's jump on to the oatmeal stout with coconut. A whole lot less in terms of ABV, 13.2, and then a coconut edition. So let's check this one out. This pours somewhat similar color, but it has a much more substantial dark head than the other one. It's a bit hard to swirl up, but it's a bit darker. The head is a bit more like dark mocha, espresso colored, like crema colored, maybe even darker than crema. And then also pitch black. Let's check out the aroma on the number 5. Yeah, definitely much more like subdued on like intense boozy barrel character. There's definitely a big like bourbon barrel character on it. And then coconut. The coconut is like not nearly as extreme as in a lot of modern, coconut stouts. It's there. It is like slightly umami rich. It's slightly milky, coconutty, and yeah, definitely also vanilla. And that's probably also the coconut. And I think there's oats in it too, of course, because it's oatmeal stout, and that can also play a part with that vanilla flavor. Yeah, almost like a little bit of vanilla frosting type. It definitely smells more new school than this one. And then chocolatey, roasty, loads of layered, like Maillard caramelized flavor to it as well, or aroma. Let's try it. Cheers, and thanks again, Johan. Big time coconut on the flavor. Also more roasty, actually, than this one, initially at least. Really nice coconut flavor, though. Really like milky, sweet, kind of coconutty without it being pastry-like. It tastes like what a lot of people now call adjunct stouts as well. Like it's not like overtly crazy sweet, over-the-top pastry beer. It's like huge roasty imperial stout with coconut flavor, and then layers of bourbon and vanilla and caramel. But I don't think the bourbon characters on neither of these are like screaming in your face. But also in my memory right now, I drank some very extreme beers with coconut like this weekend that were much more over the top and much more heavy on the barrel characters. But these are still really, really, really good. They're just more stouty and maybe not as new school fudgy crazy, which is nice. I love like stouts that taste like stouts. Both bodies are quite similar. Oily, full, slick. The sweetness seems higher on this one than this one, and it's also got 10 Plato points or 10 gravity points more in finishing gravity than the other one. It has a more heavy oxidized flavor profile though as well, like much more, like almost port or something, port wine or something. Whereas this is like more roasty, more umami, and then more like heavy stouty. Those layers of coconut. Like my only thing is like I'd love to have a bit more fresh vibrant bourbon barrel character, but it all comes down to like how fresh barrels are, what barrels you use, and whatnot. Like bourbon or barrel aging is crazy. Like it's awesome. It's hard to do as well. You just like the biggest thing with barrel aging is like just you need really fresh barrels to get those like really singing crazy characters. And like I think these have some very nice bourbon characteristics, but I think they could use more. So either like fresher barrels or longer time in barrels. I think I like them so far of all these. I actually like the Barney one the most, which was the last one I had, which had a lot of bourbon character. I think they have a lot, but they could for sure do with a little bit more, at least in my mind. But still wonderful barrel aged stouts. Which one do I prefer? I think I'd actually tie them. They're quite different, but they're both like just like really nice big extreme stouts. Yeah, I don't think I prefer one much more over the other. They are quite different beers. There's also much more umami heavy the number 5 and number 4. They're probably around 93. I mean, they're still really good. I don't think they had world class for me, but they're just like really nice barrel aged beers, which is, that's what I come to expect from Nerd Brewing. It's like at least this level of quality, which it usually is. So yeah, they're really nice. Are they worth a shot? For sure. Are you going to find them? Probably not, because they were released a while back. But I think you should for sure keep an eye on the Nerd Brewing's barrel series. So far, they've been really nice. I've got up until number 12, I think, in the cellar to check out. So we've got quite a few more to check out as well. But if you guys had either of these two, number 4 or number 5, let me know what you thought of them. Do you have a favorite in the series so far? Also let me know. And thanks a ton to Johan for the beers. You're awesome for shipping these over. And as always, remember to comment, subscribe, check out the Facebook fan page and Twitter and Instagram. And give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and ring the bell for future notifications about videos. And I'm going to say cheers. And see you guys in another beer review.